We've all probably been having a lot of holiday food leftovers, but today we're talking about good news leftovers. Jody Kurzman is here to give us the story behind the story of our latest reports. Hello.
Hi, welcome back.
Well, thank you.
Missed
it's
you
nice
last
to be
week.
back. Well, yeah, we sit closer than this
Very lonely.
in the newsroom.
Very lonely week.
Yeah,
for me.
yeah, you were gonna send me a picture of the Bison jersey hanging on my chair, but you decided
I didn't do it.
just to let me find it myself.
I
right?
wish I should have mounted a little
There you
hidden
go.
camera.
Yeah, we know who the culprit is on that. All right, speaking of the Bison, I'm going to turn it a little bit to the Jackrabbits now. He's one of my favorite players because he's a former South Dakota State Jackrabbit. Now, on the other hand, he's now a Green Bay Packer. Not so much as far as my favorite. However,
But he's a Timberlake Panther.
He's a Timberlake Panther,
foremost.
first and foremost. Let's talk about Tucker Kraft and the impact that he's making, not only for the Packers, but also in his hometown.
And I think some of us have been watching him, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you obviously watched him all through college. It's a name I recognize from growing up in that part of the world. But watching him do so well in the NFL is just so exciting, no matter what team you cheer for, right? Like to see somebody from small town South Dakota.
And we're talking small town.
Small. It might be a little bigger than my hometown, but maybe only by a couple of people. But yeah, Timberlake is a tiny little town, and he is just, he's turning heads, and it's so fun to watch him. And when you watch Tucker Kraft play football, like, he's just a kid having fun, right? I mean, that's what it should be. He's just, it's just fun to watch.
And
him.
I've often wondered about pro athletes, how much of it is, how do you still get into it like when you were playing high school basketball or football or whatever? It's obvious he does.
Yes, he's having the time of his life.
Okay, now, Tucker is, the interesting thing about him at the Packers, he was a second tight end drafted that year. So he was a little bit, not an afterthought, but he was kind of going to be second fiddle. He has really taken on that role and run with it.
Yeah. Literally run with it, So what I thought was, I learned a lot of really interesting things when I was in Timberlake, and I got to visit with his older brother, Tanner. He's got two older brothers. He's the youngest of three, but Tanner lives in Timberlake still. And I asked him, like, was this like the team that Tucker wanted? And Tanner said, you know what, we didn't watch football growing up.
Really?
And I said, what? He goes, no, we couldn't sit still. We'd watch a little bit, and then we'd go outside and play football.
Exactly.
Like, they would just rather be playing football. And so it didn't matter who he got to play for. It was just that he's playing football. And Tanner said, we don't have to cheer for the Packers. We get to cheer for the Packers.
That's true.
Just a very proud big brother.
Proud big brother, but the whole town and that whole area is so very, very proud of Tucker.
Absolutely. And they should be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what a success story. And I think it's cool that he hasn't forgotten where he's from.
Well, and we're going to get into that a little bit here. This cleats thing that the NFL just had, and Tucker kept it right at home, bringing attention to a very, very local cause.
Yeah, so my cause, my cleats, I mean, you can pick whatever cause you want as an NFL player. But he chose the Cheyenne River Youth Project, which is based in Eagle Butte, which is not too far from Timberlake. Timberlake is on the Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation, as is Eagle Butte, and his mom worked in Eagle Butte. And so he picked this organization, and it's just in visiting with Julie, the founder and the CEO of this organization, it's where she grew up too, and she wanted to make a difference back home. And for 36 years, she has just been helping these kids find success, and admitted not really a football fan.
I was going to say, and I'm paraphrasing here, but she basically said, I don't know football from a golf ball, but Tucker has brought so much attention to our organization and our community.
Yes, and my favorite thing that she said is, I don't really know what a tight end does, but he seems to be really good at his tight end stuff, and I love that.
Yeah, whatever a tight end does, Tucker's about as good as you can get.
Yeah.
So, and they're very, very grateful too for the attention they're receiving.
And the Cheyenne River Youth program is really cool. She started it when she moved back after college. Like, she grew up in Eagle Butte, left for college in Huron, and came back. It started in an old abandoned bar downtown.
Wow.
Well, they outgrew that space. And the space they have now is just this huge building. When I was there, it was all filled with toys for their Christmas drive. I mean, they were giving toys to like 1,500 kids. Each kid gets 3 things. And they're very thoughtful in trying to match the toy and the item with what the kids fill out a wish list. And Yeah, they do a good job of making sure they get something that they really wanted.
That's awesome. It really is. That was a great story. And you know, both you and I didn't grow up far from Timberlake,
No.
South Dakota. So, you know, we kind of feel a connection to Tucker. All
Yes. I don't know that he feels connected to us.
Probably
but
not. He's probably not watching our station right now. He's probably getting ready for next week's game against the Bears.
Oh,
right.
yeah. Were you having a hard time? I know you're a Vikings guy.
Uh-huh.
Were you kind of cheering a little bit for Tucker
Oh,
yesterday?
when he was drafted, I'm like, no.
Not the Packers.
I wanted him to be a Viking so bad because I really wanted to cheer for him.